Hello and welcome to this week's Fotospeed video with me, Tim Jones. Today I'm looking at textured papers, where to use textured papers, where not to use textured papers, and where you can kind of get away with using textured papers and what kind of images might work best by using a textured paper. Okay, now before I dive into any of that though, please don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter. All the links and everything in the description below, along with links to our US and European distributor as well, and to all the papers I've used today and everything as well. So have a look in the description and check out all those links, and don't forget to subscribe, basically. Okay, textured papers. So where to start? I think I want to talk, I suppose, to where to start, I want to talk a little bit about kind of what textured papers are, I suppose, and what constitutes a texture in a paper. I always think that a texture, you should be able to see it actually on the page itself, like the natural textured bright white I've got in my hand here. You can actually see this coming through in the image, and you can feel it as well. So when I say we want to see it and we want to feel it, we want to see it when it's unprinted effectively, this texture, and I want to feel it as well coming through, because textures come in different shapes and sizes, I suppose. So the natural textured bright white that I've got here is a very heavily textured paper, so you can definitely see it in the white areas here and also in the pink areas here, but I'll come on to that in a second. And you can also feel it as well, which is really important, I think, as well. Now, both of these have positives and negatives that I'm going to talk through, and can be adjusted for different genres of photography we might be doing. Also, you have a very fine texture of paper, like the platinum etching cotton I've got in my hand here. This you can see, but you can also feel it as well, but it's a very fine texture. So think of it as it's almost kind of a finer grain of texture. And it also has its own effect on the image. So sometimes it may be better to use a finer grain than a heavier grain. Also bear in mind the texture of papers and how much you can see a texture in a picture that we've printed, say like a portrait here, that we can quite clearly see it in the skin here, which may have a hint at one of my points today. But don't forget, we can see this texture here on an A3 I've printed, but if we say we printed it on an A2, A1, A0, then then we would see the texture less, because the bigger we go, actually printing wise, is changing the size of the texture in relation to the image, if that kind of makes sense to people. So effectively, the bigger we go, the finer the grain of the texture is getting, because the image is so much bigger. The actual texture isn't changing size, it's the images. So it's the relationship between the texture and the image that is changing. So just something to bear in mind when we're talking about textures. We've got A3 prints on the table here, which is probably what most of us work at, or kind of thereabouts, kind of that kind of average size that most of us look at. But don't forget, the bigger you go, the finer that grain of texture becomes. So the positives of textured papers is they feel great in your hand. They feel fantastic. They feel really heavy. And because of that texture, you can kind of feel it as you're rubbing your hands across the print, that I know you should never do. However, the texture is there, so it feels very art-like, almost fine art-like, I suppose. And that's kind of the feeling we want to get with our fine art photography, is that kind of feel. And you do get that with textured papers. Now, you do have to be careful though. And the one thing, and you may have heard me say this before, the one thing I always say with textured papers is, if you can see the texture of the paper coming through in the image, a bit like you can on kind of these two pictures here, like the pink here, we can definitely see the texture of the paper coming through. And also in the skin tone here as well, we can definitely see that texture coming through. Is it becoming distracting? I think is in the pink picture here. In the portrait, I think it's on that border, but again, it's skin tone. Is it soft? Is it smooth? Do we want that look to it? Do we want to create kind of a texture in the skin there? That's a question you kind of have to ask yourself as the photographer or artist. Now, I possibly, on both of these pictures here, would probably not use a textured paper, just because we can see that texture coming through. I always joke to people that the worst comment you can ever have when someone's looking at your photograph is, "What a lovely paper," because they're noticing the paper more than the image. So for these two, I probably wouldn't be using a textured paper. But I will come back to these in a second, and especially the portrait. Where I would be using a textured paper, and a heavily textured paper, is something that's got a lot of kind of texture in already. Like this wall picture here, this sea wall, and especially this one here of kind of the starfishes and the shells and things like that on the beach with this shale. It works really well because the texture of the paper almost creates this 3D look, which I think looks fantastic, and it kind of brings it out a little bit. And that's something texture can do, especially if I just pull across the platinum etching cotton versions of this, because I think especially in kind of a finer grain of textures like the platinum etching cotton, I think it almost adds this natural form of sharpening. It's an optical illusion, however, it does look a little bit sharper. I think that the heavier kind of textured paper doesn't look unsharp, it doesn't look soft, but I do think this finer grain does pop off the page, especially if you've got lovely fine detail like we have here in this beach shot. Now, where I think we've got to be careful with textured papers is if we've got a lot of kind of blank space, a bit like this wildlife shot here. Now on the platinum etching cotton, I think it works fine. I think it's a fine enough grain that we're not seeing loads of kind of texture in the background here in this kind of grey-black kind of background. However, because of that natural sharpening that textured papers can give, it has highlighted kind of the feathers and the actual kind of subject of the picture. So it has actually made it come forward. So it's given us a little bit more depth in the picture, which is brilliant. I think on a heavier type of paper though, or a heavier textured type of paper, I think it becomes a little bit distracting, and it's kind of compressing things a little bit too much for us. We can see the texture in the background here. Yeah, it is highlighting the bird a little bit, but it has become a little bit flatter. It's kind of compressed a little bit. So where platinum etching cotton, that finer grain makes it pop, the kind of the heavier type of grain, or the texture, should I say, has kind of compressed things at this size. Maybe if we printed this at A0 or bigger, then we would get the same effect as we have on the platinum etching cotton here. So that's something just to bear in mind. Now, if I look at a portrait, because textured papers have always kind of been, or we're always kind of told kind of to stay away from kind of portraits because of what I kind of said at the start, really, that if you use a heavy texture, the skin does have texture in it, and if you spent some time smoothing skin or something like that and you want that glamour shot perhaps, then it's not going to be that sympathetic to skin. So I'd probably say stay away from a heavily textured paper, but then again, a finer grain of texture has worked quite well on this portrait. However, for me, I think a smoother type of paper like a smooth cotton, or if you wanted to go kind of a semi-gloss like a platinum bright or something for portraits, would work really well, or even NST Bright White, which it's a smooth paper, but it does have a tiny little bit of something in there texture-wise. It's not classified as a textured paper though. So that's my next tip, I suppose, is probably stay away from textured papers for portraits. I think platinum etching cotton can get away with it because it's such a wonderful paper. But the natural textured bright white, I think it just kind of is too much. We could definitely, perhaps not so much in the face, but I think in the hand here, it's quite distracting and goes back to if someone says, oh, what a lovely paper that is, I suppose. It's kind of that kind of thing. However, if we go to a subject a bit like these, a natural subject, I suppose, like woodlands, something that's quite busy. We've got kind of a natural kind of wildlife shot here as well. Then they do work particularly well. Even the kind of the heavier papers, we can't really see the texture coming through on this shot here from the lion. I would say even the heavier texture looks a little bit better on here. Just adds that little bit more depth to the picture. Not kind of sure why, but it does. It just adds it. But the platinum etching cotton, of course, is adding that kind of natural sharpening to it and things like that. But this lion here looks amazingly sharp. We can't see the texture coming through, which is the main thing because it is quite a busy shot. And also, then it feels great in your hand. It just feels lovely. Again, with the woodland shot, the same kind of thing is happening. Again, because it's quite a busy scene, we've got lots of going on, there's texture in the picture, then it works really well. And I think that is really the takeaway from this, is if there's texture in the picture and it's quite a busy scene, kind of that texture-wise and tonally and things, then they work particularly well. For this shot, I quite like the platinum etching cotton. It just picks out these details a little bit better. But saying that, we could edit this and put a little radial in here and things. If you didn't see my video a couple of weeks ago on how to edit based on the print and making informed edits, then go back and have a watch because we probably could pick this up and it would look absolutely stunning. Now my last picture I want to look at, or the last couple I want to look at, is the pink one I looked at the start, which, like I said, I think that on a heavier textured paper, it doesn't really work for me. I think it's very distracting. I think the finer grain of texture works particularly well on here. The one I wanted to just pick up on before I finish is this lovely kind of this kind of lovely snow scene, should I say, that this works particularly well. Now, usually with skies as well, I'd say stay away from textured papers because it could be very distracting. But I think in this case, what's happened is, because we've got loads of texture down the bottom here where we can't really see the texture of the paper, which is great. We can see it a bit coming back in the sky here on the natural textured bright white. I think that it almost balances the picture a little bit for us. I think on the platinum etching cotton, I think it looks great and it looks really nice. But I think particularly for me, I like the heavier texture on this one. And you can see it coming through. However, the texture is almost balanced between this bottom third of the picture and this top 2/3 of the picture with the sky and things like that. So again, another little thing to think about perhaps, and just kind of to throw into the mix, I suppose, is that kind of debate if we want to balance it with the texture of the paper and things. So I hope you can see there how it could, a textured paper, improve your photography, make it look better in kind of a 3D kind of way, help balance it out like we just talked about with this picture here, but also what to kind of look out for and to stay away from. A little bit like the portraiture shots we've got and things like that, just to stay away, possibly. But the rules I've kind of said today, or the tips I've kind of gone through, obviously they're there to be broken, so please don't feel you have to feel these. But hopefully that can help you along the way and give you a bit of a starter on how to use textured papers. Look out for my video next week. I also have recorded a video looking at the particular genre that works well with textured papers, and I haven't actually shown it in these pictures here, so a bit of a surprise for that one. So have a look for that video next week. On that note though, please don't forget to subscribe to the Fotospeed YouTube channel and sign up to the Fotospeed newsletter. I'll put all the links in the description below. Also, as I've hinted at, we release new videos every week here on the Fotospeed YouTube channel. So on that note, I will see you next week. Bye-bye.